A rare piece of South African sporting history, an original 1995 Rugby World Cup winners medal presented by Nelson Mandela to Springbok loose forward Adriaan Richter was sold for 62,500 rand in a live auction. The old Johannesburg warehouse auctioneers listed the medal with a starting bid of 30,000 rand and an estimated value of between 40 and 100,000 rand. The medal, described on the site as a very rare original Rugby World Cup 1995 winners medal, is a large gold gilded silver piece made from 0.999 pure silver, measuring 6.5 centimeters in diameter. It still includes its original ribbon and presentation case, and is inscribed to Richter. Adriaan Richter was part of the Springbok squad that delivered South Africa's unifying 1995 World Cup victory, and also captained the side in their pool stage win over Romania. There was shock and sympathy for Adriaan Richter when it emerged he had to sell some of his Springbok memorabilia from the World Cup in order to pay his bills. It's a sad situation for the 59-year-old to be in. But to frame it as being because he's white and therefore the main reason why he can't find work is misrepresenting the situation. While it may certainly be true that his age is not on his side, the fact that he's white does not mean it's the reason either. Between 2000 and 2006, Richter ran a farm in Neelstroom, during which he also spent 3 years coaching the local primary school's rugby team. He went into farming in Neelstroom and Limpopo before selling the farm in 2006 and relocated to Witbank, where he took up a managerial role at the Radio Hire. Since then, he has tried several avenues to earn a living, including financial brokering and equipment rental businesses. Beyond his Springbok contributions, Richter was a long-time stalwart on the provincial rugby scene. He began his career at Transvaal, now the Lions, in 1988, before going on to play more than 100 games for Northern Transvaal. On X, former ANC MP Lawrence E. MacDonald sympathized with Richter's sale of his 1995 World Cup memorabilia. The ex-politician who left the party last year and uses his platform to now blast ANC's racial laws claimed BEE and white genocide were to blame for the rugby players' money problems. He tweeted, "Heartbreaking. 1995 Springbok hero Adriaan Richter just sold his Mandela-presented World Cup medal for 62,500 rand to survive. Why? I'm struggling financially because I'm white." He continued, "This economic genocide against white South Africans, BEE policies crushing us while crime skyrockets. Wake up, South Africa." Anyone who pays attention to the economic situation in South Africa will be aware that South Africa is one of the most unequal countries in the world. White South Africans make up a fraction of those in poverty. In a recent statement, Statistics South Africa said white-headed households reported the highest average household consumption expenditure of 400,000 rand per annum, followed by Indian or Asian-headed households with 280,000 rand. Colored-headed households 180,000 rand, and black African-headed households 100,000 rand. The average household consumption expenditure of white-headed households was almost 4 times higher than that of black or African-headed households. In 1998, South Africa's then Deputy President Thabo Mbeki declared that the material conditions in our society have divided our country into 2 nations, the one black and the one white. He claimed that the disparity in material conditions was so great that it was possible to label South Africa a country of 2 nations. One of these nations is white, relatively prosperous, and all members of this nation have the possibility to exercise their right to equal opportunity. The second and larger nation of South Africa is black and poor, and it has virtually no possibility to exercise what in reality amounts to a theoretical right to equal opportunity. Has anything changed from Mbeki's diagnosis 2 decades ago? Is South Africa still a country of two nations? There is much suggesting this is still the case. Racial disparities in employment continue to prevail. Black South Africans are most likely to be unemployed and poor, while white South Africans are least likely to be unemployed and poor. Importantly, racial disparity also overlaps with material inequality.